Alrighty, in the top right-hand corner of the map, the blue Zerg play here from Talon eSports. This is Dark. Taking on the red Terran in the bottom left corner here from the Shopify Rebellion. We have ourselves ByuN. So away we go. Now, as we get this started, obviously we have ourselves this TVZ. ByuN, Dark, I mean, when I think of these two lately, I think two players that can very much so take each other on, but I do get the feeling that Dark has bested ByuN a little bit more recently. But you just actually check their history, because I'm a little bit curious. Dark beat ByuN start of April 3-2. ByuN beat Dark 2-1 last time they played in the Asia Cup. They've actually been trading series pretty consistently back and forth, so there was that streak that I was thinking of when I was just talking before the show. I was like, man, there was a time where they played a lot of finals back to back, and that is actually when Dark was on a bit more of a winning streak against ByuN. But that was obviously back in September, October. This now here in May is actually quite a long, not May, but April. It's quite a long time away, but also Dark has like a child now. He has a baby, so his life has changed as well. Something else to be in consideration of as this DVZ does get started. Post-Youth has a map, obviously plenty of bases. Obviously that gold forward base as well is one that we're going to be keeping our eyes on and wondering if that can maybe do or gain or whatever for us throughout the course of this. That's definitely one more thing to, like I say, be thinking about here as we move on through. Get this all started. Let's just see how my Reaper firing up a few shots. A couple of drones already taking some hits, so that will be some damage being done. A couple lings started to take some damage as well. I mean, obviously, if you can net yourself a kill, then that's brilliant. But you are going to be fighting mostly on creep. That is the main base. The queen is on the way out and will be ready very shortly. So you can't imagine that it's going to be too worth sticking around there, because you're just waiting to get into trouble. Essentially, is ling speed. About halfway through. Ourselves the Reaper still continuing about, and just have ourselves again the link speed coming up once again. So we have link speed coming, a couple of barracks are building. Again, a lot of that coming through just for the moment here. Reaper is trying to get the drone, as he wants to try and mine out some minerals, open up some space in a different direction. Again, just little bits and pieces, nothing too major, nothing really crazy just yet. Let's see, with the extra barracks coming through, we're ready for ByuN to be very aggressive on the follow-up. Yeah, it's 3cc, but the bio-based follow-up is going to really be able to pack a punch, so definitely, again, expecting that to be an important part of this in the near future. As the Reaper continues to pull back down to the bottom left-hand side. Queen and a few more drones are all on the way. The hatchery is about to finish. Orbital Commander producing on that third. And there is the stim pack starting. So again, big question of just when will ByuN be able to be aggressive with all of that, 3 racks of bio. That should kind of pave the stones ahead of us, pave the way ahead of us to kind of see where and how and what this game is going to end up doing. So we will be seeing as again stim pack and combat shield already starting out. Factories being brought up as well. Again, we got that stim and combat shield both building through. The factory is coming in, and a couple more refineries coming about also. We have the lair and the overlords, the queen also. Again, but everything producing through for the moment. Lings patrolling around in the main base. There's a couple of refineries still building. We just have ourselves the Reaper there to push back a little further. Mr. Yates, how's it going, mates? Thank you so much. Coming in with a 25-month resub on the Prime. How about that? Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate it. Gang winkering about. Lings on the way. Bane Nest. couple of evolution chambers, all of that being brought through for the moment. So bringing a little bit of everything into life. Still got that Stimpack and Combat Shield continuing through as well. So yeah, once those upgrades are done, the Marines are here. We have Banes now morphing, so I don't think there's really going to be much of a timing for ByuN. There's a couple of extra barracks coming through. Again, that Sim and Combat Shield is indeed down to wrap up, but yeah, he's going to fall back, just going to go and protect his third base with this instead. It's a little bit of a different approach compared to what we expected. One upgrades, again, Bane speed continues through. Still got the 1-1 on the side of ByuN. Hydra Den will drop down onto the main base, and again, the Ling is going to come and wrap around the rocks. Rocks will just take a little bit more damage. Still got the 1-1 coming about. Tank, Marines, Medvacs. A little bit of everything continuing through. Just for the moment. Still got our Marines firing up on this rock. These rocks here. Just going to open this space, and we do have our armory coming through. The 1-1 is over halfway done. Ling Bane sets up in amongst everything, so it's getting caught up in the center, and obviously the drops start moving around. Looks as though Dark is already somewhat on top of this, though. Moving some Lings to the left. There's Marines on the bottom, going to knock down some rocks as well, so we open up a little bit of extra space there. And 1-1 coming up on both sides. The Marines unload. The Overlord will be just moving back across to the edges to move over that direction a little bit. This Reaper continuing through, by the way. He's just going to keep bringing that along, and I'm going to see these Marines are going to try and defend this counterattack. We are going to be able to get on top of that immediately, so that's going to be a really good defense. So it goes very cleanly, honestly. No problems there. I just got that 2-2 coming about. Again, the Hive coming in. Slings continue to play a bit of chase down. Obviously, with this push up into the gold base, ByuN puts a little bit more direct pressure into action as well. So getting that direct pressure up through the center. And you got a few Hydras coming about right now as well. Actually get rid of this gold immediately. Doc is once again focusing on a counterattack in the bottom right. Ling Bane collects over in that direction and get ready to bring that through. These few Marines moving up, going to get rid of a couple of creep tumors. The Queen gets pushed back as well, so we do see that Queen also chased away. I mean, again, ByuN definitely taking good presence here, as long as he doesn't let that bottom right attack get too much done. I feel like he can have a pretty good time. A few extra Banes set up in the center once again. Here comes some Banes on that right-hand side, going to crash through these depots, open up into this mineral line. SCV's already in some trouble. He says this counterattack that really has potential for Dark, and, well, he gets a few Marines. Oh, that's a chunk of SCVs he can grab with these Banes. He's now on 9 workers killed, a couple of tanks killed too. I think that's the kind of important part to me, being able to kind of come through and get rid of some of those siege tanks as well. So actually being able to grab some of the army as well as the economy, which honestly was not the best for how much he committed through. Dog now also uses this as a moment to kind of coming back, get back in position once more. Bane Hydra's going to knock down a set of rocks. A couple more Banes get to morphing. Marines and a siege tank coming through. And the Vipers overhead. The 2-2 melee upgrades coming up. Ling Bane still producing in. Instant kill on that hatchery attempt. And we just have ourselves the drones And a bit more damage being done. ByuN staying very active on the map. Doing well for himself as we do make our way. How did that drop position? I mean, overall, Dark is kind of pinned back on 5 base without a lot of creep, so ByuN's setup is honestly not bad. I feel like his position is honestly better than a lot of people would give it credit for. When you just kind of glance at the minimap, you're like, oh, he's just about getting a 4th base up, but I think the constraint on the opponent's creep spread actually goes a long way. I think that's really useful. I think that helps out big time, so I think that is a big deal. You have adrenal glands coming up as well. Oh, one of the medevac's got shot down. The other one's very low, so would love to just kind of keep that away and not get that involved a second time, because that could just be asking for a little bit of trouble otherwise. So, and something to watch for. Marines gather. A couple of creep teamers already dropping. Medevac on the top. Not going to do much. Ling Bane kind of staying there, watching for it. Ling Bane just going to be hand pushed around. We're just going to see the rest of these Marines still coming through. The Banes are coming across. A couple of tank shots firing as well. A lot of Lings coming in from Dark, still in production. He is starting to wipe out this Bioforce with Vipers. He's going to be able to Blinding Cloud away. Part of the problem. So Blinding Clouds that back. Still got +3/+3 coming through, but ByuN's armor is ahead of the attack upgrades, so the upgrades are not going to be as effective as they might like to be. Going to be a problem too here, most likely. And let's just see the Marines and the tanks still staying split apart. There you go, around 2 from Dark into this position, but the choke point's pretty big. ByuN actually has an army supply lead right now, but how far can he push forwards? Can he actually take the step onto creep to make this a little bit more of a, an actual fight for him rather than just kind of a toying around? That's a very good question. He's going to knock down that base, and now he's going to have access to the upper left base. Suddenly Dark is going to be kind of baseless. I mean, he's going to be down to 3. Re-expanding on the right side, doubly so. But I mean, that's just, far from ideal, far from far from what you want this to be at this point in time, right, realistically. I mean, Dark's trying to get to that Ultra Cavern. If he can get to Ultras, then brilliant. You might be able to make some, something work for yourself there, but I don't think he's going to get to the Ultra Cavern with a lot of money to spend. I mean, he's actually got a bit of a bank right now, but even then you've got Stark Kindness, wait for that to finish. Hard to be super hopeful about it at the moment as we see the Ultra Cavern being done. The first Ultra starts, so does Kindness, so Dark is absolutely waiting on that. Some drones over here attacking some SCVs will now get cleaned up as well, so that will be shut down. I like the burrow. It's actually another kind of little tool to kind of utilize in this game to kind of bring yourself back into it. Burrow can absolutely kind of win a loss situation for you, so it's one thing to also maybe be hopeful of. Some burrowed banelings could be impactful. So coming across, they're going to get rid of this hatchery, so hatchery will go down. Hydra Bane Viper comes over as well. Bane's getting knocked out, Baneling's coming through, Ling Bane Hydra all coming across, another medevac getting caught in a parasitic bomb. Marines continue by, a couple of Lings will continue across. We just see our Marines coming back over that right hand side, going to go jump onto these drones. Just coming over, medevac is going to get shot down as well, so we pick that off. Blinding Cloud comes in, Siege Tank getting grabbed. Now the Ultra's coming through. Dark supply is not great, but I think the Ultras is something which ByuN is not immediately set to deal with. And he's getting caught here. Oh, he fights his way out of that corner. If the Ultras are able to connect on those Marines, that would be deadly. You can tell those Ultras are ready for a good jump, and there's honestly nothing apart from these Ultras, which is kind of part of the problem. ByuN very low HP as he has to stim one more time to be able to kite these Ultras and try and dish out damage. He is going to have some units trying to show up on his right side base, but actually not a lot. There's a couple of Vipers flying overhead, so not really a problem. by any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be continue to press this back and push this all away. More ultras about to be done here from Darkest Supply. Still just about hanging in there, but really not exactly great. Four new infestors from Dark. I like that. I mean, something that might, again, he's building units that give him the chance of pulling it back and, you know, maybe having some hope all across the board. You know, those things definitely seem like they, you know, have potential. Maybe seeing the Marines pulling back again, a couple ultras coming chasing. 7 infestors popping. I mean, if you have those fungals and then the ultras can connect, that's how you potentially win a fight while down in supply. Like I say, I like the ideas from Doc. He's definitely been trailing. He's definitely in a bit of trouble. He's doing what he can to try and make sure he's going to have the best possible time. Like I say, he's not going to make it easy for ByuN by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to make ByuN absolutely sweat for every point on this scoreboard. As we do have a counter-attack, so ByuN has to go deal with that. There's the first fungals. Mostly on the medevacs. Now some of them landing on the bio units, though, and that is going to allow the ultras to close the distance. You are seeing these ultralists absolutely winning this fight because of those fungal growths. That is it. That's the swing point. Wow. Really good fight from Dark. I mean, that's exactly what he needed. ByuN says GG. He's actually just lost the game. Man, Dark was bleeding as well. Like, he was on very little economy, very few bases. You know, it was scrappy. Generally, all the things that benefited Terran, and guys on use cam. You'll start obsing in a second, I imagine. I'm just gonna go in. Get ready to run some ads. In a moment, any second. Sucked. Yeah, ByuN got sucked right there for real. Alright. ByuN is, sorry, Dog is the Zerg in the bottom left. ByuN is the Terran in the upper right. As we get into game number 2. It's pull first from Dark, maybe already thinking of some potential aggression. See if that has any knock-on kind of plan for him. To get this underway, operational. See where things are going to go. Just coming across the map, it is low ground barracks, so we're already going to be seeing the movement in towards the, the movement in towards the Reapers here as the opening of ByuN. So he shows us the plan on that one. He shows us what he wants to be doing. Let's have ourselves the couple of Reapers popping out of those racks, so they start moving across. So see our Reaper coming in. A couple, well, a Queen and a couple of Lings is going to come across. Going to get to work. Reaper coming through, Link Speed coming up, couple Queens are building, and all of this settled down as our Queen's gonna fight. Reaper will take some shots. Low HP, and again a couple Lings gonna get there, just gonna push that Reaper around once again, so some bits and pieces, nothing too crazy. You know, Reapers obviously would love to get back up to this high ground. In the end, then Link Speed is coming through. We'll get a few Lings up, and that will be our attempt to defend these Reapers, having that Link Speed and looking to try and catch them out and about on the map. So, expecting that to be the newest part of the plan. Marines still coming up. Again, the Reapers get pushed away by the couple of Queens. Link speed coming up. The drone's on the way. Hatchery building on the third base in that forward position as well. So taking that rich Vespine location obviously boosts up what Doc can get off of that base with even less drones. So that is always going to be a little bit of a bonus, a little bit of a benefit. We take those. We take those indeed. Let's get to the corner. He's going to pick off a Reaper. I mean, again, the link speed is obviously helping you to play cleanup on that. As Dog didn't take too much damage from it, although now loses all of his links to these Marines. Let's have ourselves a factory on the way up, so the follow-up is coming in from ByuN. But Doc is also on his way to the Roach Run, so that Roach Run is just now starting. A couple of extractors coming through from Doc. Overlords are building. How committed do we get to these roaches? I mean, it's not going to be super aggro roaches. We don't have the money for that, as Yoni just now get this third hatch in position. But we do have potential to start up a lair. I mean, we have to build a few roaches to deal with these Marines, but I imagine we want the gas to start up a lair, start looking at other tech. Obviously, upgrades would have to be something on the agenda here, right? There's no way Doc is just going to send... Is he? There's no way he's just going to keep... He is going to keep making units. Is he really? Maybe there is a way Doc sends it across the map then. So interesting. Maybe just use this forward base as an acceleration point with creep spread, with reinforcements. He's making a lot of roaching, and to be fair, ByuN is in the middle of the map. Stim's ready though, and Doc was not ready for him to have Stim. You know what? 20 seconds from now, when Doc has all of his links here to like wrap around these Marines, catch them, keep them in range of the roaches, this would have gone so much better. But losing those few roaches for free immediately, disastrous realistically for Doc. I mean, that is just a bunch of supply that you really could have utilized well. Now you lose out on it, and all because you were just a little bit too... I don't even know if overeager is really the word. Combat shields is on the way, +1 attack is over halfway done. Still got Evo Chambers building from Doc. The lair is halfway produced. Our Marines are still pressing out to the middle. Things coming back across, gonna run into a Marine. And you have ourselves that Marine able to hold its own for the moment. Siege tank still coming into production. The Marine continues to chase the Ling down. And now we have the double medevac moving in towards the main base. That's going to be dropping off in a couple moments. Still got the 1-1 missile upgrades coming through. Roaches in production too. As this drop comes in, the first Roach is going to be met by a group of Marines. We're actually going to turn back onto Roaches. We can't justify chasing the drones apparently, so can't justify that. That will be kept away. Well, now, a few more of these drones getting shot at again. A couple of Roaches getting picked off. 12 drones going down. I mean, this is nice from ByuN, but... Okay, I mean, I was going to say, but there's something that's not adding up, and it is just the amount of supply available for Doc. But the fact he's making, like, upgrades and so on suggests he wants this to be a longer game. So being down 8 workers is really not where Doc wants to be. He is absolutely not enjoying this situation so far. Marines get there. Overlord will be taken out. Again, a few more drones. The Ravager, a couple Queens. Building up as well right now. Roach is going to start jumping onto a set of rocks and opening up that side of the map. Roach is still coming through. And then Marines just load back up. Again, that burrow is on the way. 1 more missile upgrades, tunneling claws, infestation pit. A lot of stuff that continues to be produced right now. Doc, don't get me wrong, definitely was in trouble, definitely was not in a pretty spot, but it's starting to get to the point where I could almost believe a little bit. I do think the problem right now is just the fact his army is pretty much just roaches, so straight up fights should probably still not go his way. And load this bio back on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side, there is a little bit on the low ground to that rich Vespine base of Dark, but nothing too impactful. Although we actually take it and scan up to the upper right, so we are going to try and get some creep. Nothing coming of that, though. Dark is handling that pretty well so far, as now these Marines unload into this natural. Dark pulls back, but Roach in trouble. Tunneling claws denied. And that means that those Roaches cannot burrow or move around the map, so one of the ways in which you might have tried to get something done is now gone. There might be a space to make play with the Nidus in the main. I wonder if that's what Dark is thinking, because I'll just watch this get cleaned up. There's one SCV here. This SCV does not provide full vision. It's the only vision on this left side. That is a possibility for Dark to get in and do some serious damage. Catch ByuN very out of position. He'd be fully unloaded from the Nidus if it wasn't seen before ByuN was able to respond. Now would be the time to send it as well. He's going to put it down. Yeah, that's completely blind. ByuN does not see that, so ByuN does not know about the Nidus network. And oh, Infestor's going to get caught there. One of them went down. But the Nidus now pops. How much is going to spawn out of that Nidus? What's ByuN's response going to be? Oh, 5 Roaches. Honestly, I would love to see even more. Because like I say, it's going to be very difficult to get units here to kind of defend this. I feel like I mean, even that amount of Roaches, like I say, more! I mean, I kind of envision this shutting down production and stopping stuff from building, getting on top of any tanks to try to come up the ramp, but I guess the problem is you're also still just working with basic Roaches, right? So, I mean, a couple of upgrades on them, but nothing too major, and that's part of the problem at the end of the day as the bio comes back over this side and knock on the hatchery. I'll start to work through that for a little bit. I mean, ByuN has been playing a lead in this game pretty much from the very get-go. Looking to extend on that further now. On the road over in this corner, just going to knock down a Nidus. That's going to be another nice little fungal on these Marines, but it's not leading to anything. Obviously, ByuN not going to let himself get Nidus in the same place twice, but we're going to try Nidus the low ground natural. Looks like ByuN is running some units over. They're not there in time, so some units could pop out of that and cause some trouble. It's 2 Roaches that pop out. I think he could have started to unload slightly sooner from that Nidus, and it would have maybe got him a 3rd or 4th Roach. Maybe that could have done something, but one Marauder is actually pretty good in these situations, and micro potential due to the medevacs, so it makes it very difficult to successfully commit through there at all. Another Nidus over in this corner on the way up. And a few Roaches pop out, but at this point ByuN's like, cool, some free Roaches along with my Nidus denial. You know, it's not like he's taking any damage from those Roaches. It takes him a couple seconds longer to clean them up, and he's getting free resources off of Dark, opening up the efficiency gap in this game even wider. 4,000 resource loss difference from 3,500 to 7,500. Now the upgrade, Adrenal Glands coming through, got a Queen and a Viper coming out. More drones going down, we scan up to the high ground again, Bio will come across. Roaches will take quite a few shots, gonna get blasted, and Dark is gonna say that's enough. Not gonna be able to make my comeback happen in this one. GG's, and that is going to be a ByuN victory to tie us up 1-1 in the best of 5. It is gonna be game number 3, our Blue Zerg player Dark from Talon eSports taking on the red Terran bottom right ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion. Get this the way. Now, can Dark get off to a better start? He definitely has been kind of hurting in the early stages of these games thus far. Definitely having some rough times. With a better start, maybe and get some better situations. Watch gas and pool coming on through. Just gonna see the barracks going down. From ByuN, refinery coming in, CC is building, SCV is coming in. Obviously, last game started off with those Reapers, and I feel like they alone were a good starting point. It's really the follow-up attacks, I guess. Kind of netted a bunch of damage and got a lot going. We are gonna go 2 racks here, following a CC first. So just a biocentric play on the back of a command center first. When you go CC first, you basically get 2 real options. Option 1, take double gas off of a barracks. Option 2, go double barracks. Those are the things you can typically afford off that CC first, and those obviously open you into a couple of different ways of playing. Two more barracks really opens ByuN into this more aggressive round of life, where we've seen him play this before, this kind of 4 racks follow-up off of a CC first. You play what looks to be very eco-focused, and then boom, bang, it's 4 racks of action, and all of a sudden you're in a little spot of trouble, so kind of into it. And you see this Overlord chilling up on the high ground, we've got Stim coming through, barracks is about to finish, so ByuN that's going to be full steam ahead on bacon units. This is basically make a baneling nest or die as dark. There's not really much of an option in this. So you kind of just got to make sure you get that done, otherwise it will be a bit of a troubling time. Marines still popping out. Continue to bring those in. Couple more mules going down, Stim back in combat shield coming up, more Marines still coming in. Marines coming out, we do see a single Zergling out that right side. Stimpak about to finish, combat shields coming through, and obviously we've got this big push coming. This is where Dark is, I think, gonna die, because I think he's built too many drones. I do not think he's got himself the tech he needs. And get rid of an Overlord. That is a supply block here for Dark, so something to look at for a moment. There's a lot of queens, I guess, and those queens can obviously carry as these Marines do get combat shield this way. They will take the fight. Queens are pretty good, though. Yeah, queens are going to hold this off. Queens are going to be the reason ByuN does not break through. I really thought Dog was going to be in some more trouble, but apparently not the case. Still got the 1-1 coming about. Just got ourselves a couple drones. The Queen all coming through. A couple more extractors are building. You have our Marines heading back down to the low ground for seconds. Just bring those back over there. As ByuN pulls back, he can obviously start up the third CC, but that's going to be a pretty late third, so his economy is not going to be great this game compared to what it could be in different situations. So that's going to be kind of interesting to keep our eyes on. As the Marines do get there to pick off a single Zergling that's moving forward already. Sometimes I still can't get over just how good queens are, man. Like, the fact these queens just kind of popped in and were like, hey, what's up? Just completely denied the push in of those Marines at first. Pretty bonkers as the Marines will unload. We gather back together. Stem forwards and a few creep tumors will begin to go down pretty much immediately. I've got the rest of this Ling Bane looking to come through. Another creep tumor very nearly going down. T2 melee upgrades coming through. Baneley speed is halfway done. Plenty more Zerglings still producing through as well. So we're getting all of these Lings brought up right now. As we get forwards, we're going to get rid of a couple more creep tumors. So a little bit more dealt on that. Continue to come through, and again, Ling Bane will move about once again. Queen going to get a few more shots off. Our Marines will stem up once more. Even more Zerglings getting cleaned up this time around. The flank, though, is going to catch the siege tanks, but the medevacs can evacuate, and that's the beauty of this push at the moment. Well, Bane's morphing, ready for the counterattack. Bane's speed about to be done. Oh, ByuN didn't raise the depots. Doc backs off again. He's going to have Bane's here in a second. Tank will be sieged. The Marines continue to trade out. ByuN still in the push to the top of the map. I feel like Doc is now starting to bleed out a lot of units as tanks take their position here. What's the plan, Doc? Are we going to commit into ByuN's bases? Are we going to bring it back for the flank? He needs to kind of decide. He needs to start getting something done rather than just sitting here and taking damage. And unfortunately right now that's what continues to happen. Damage being dealt across the board. Again, 2-2 halfway done from Doc. Seeing a few Lings still trying to come over. Live is coming up. Again, another armor upgrade about finish. Bane decides to kind of pull back away from that bottom right-hand side. Just gonna scan one more time, knock down a couple of creep tumors as we go. Melee upgrade still coming up. We do hit this hatchery. A few transfusions coming through onto that hatch. Damage being dealt. Queens take the shots. It's a lot of Lings on the other side of the map. Doc is again looking towards the counterattacks as a solution for this push. But ByuN has enough at home, so the counterattack finds nothing at all. Well, I'll tell you what, 2-2 might be the answer, right? 2-2 against 1-1. Suddenly he's going to be way better off in terms of how he fights. Ultra Cavern on the way, man. Doc is on his way to so much. If he gets to any of it, he'll be in a great spot right now. This army of ByuN looking as though it will be cleaned out. He did just drop in the main base, though. I'll pull some units away. He's going to see the Ultra Cavern, so he's going to be able to go for it, but the Banelings connect. A bunch of Marines have to load up and get out of there. Now more Lings continue to run out down to the bottom left-hand side. ByuN has money to spend himself. He's got a bunch to spend. Obviously, right now, trading does not feel good for him because he's down a full set of upgrades, waiting for his own 2-2 to finish. But by then, you know, Viper's adrenal glands are going to be taken to the stage as well. Bane will go back onto these rocks. Just going to try and open up this space. Viper's getting consumption going. 2-2 upgrades coming about. Again, we got ourselves the Widow Mines continuing through as well. Drilling Claws is still building. We do have the Ling Bane pushing forward here as Marines will stim it up. And the choke point should help ByuN a lot. Again, down a set of upgrades here. Widow Mines wouldn't care about that, but they're not going to get burrowed in time to fire. And it is the power of Dark that might just swarm through to victory as he is going to get rid of the fourth base. Third is not lifting either. ByuN is too busy typing out GG. That is why. That works. And that is going to be ByuN down in the series now as Dark finds himself a convincing turnaround and hold. Honestly, I really felt like, I mean, Alcyone, potential for a big game. Obviously, ByuN is not afraid of playing long TVZs. He's actually one of the, funnily enough, better turtling Terrans as of late, so we'll see. As in the bottom left, our blue Zerg is Dark. On the top right, our red Terran is ByuN. And number 4, Dark could wrap this tournament up with a run right here. CC drops down the low ground. Hatchery is going to come through and get this ready to go. Hatch and gas coming in for the moment. Hatch, gas bill all coming up. We got ourselves a couple of barracks coming around as well, so we get that settled in just for the moment. CC is about to finish. The reactor coming through. A couple of queens building. And obviously the other game is looking pretty peaceful. Not even a Reaper play or anything from ByuN either. Last couple of games have obviously been a bit odd from the multi-racks Reaper, the CC first style, in a few different ways of kind of getting set up basically, so that has been the plan of action. Patrick coming in, just going to be seeing ourselves a couple lings, the Queen, the Overlord, Hatch, about everything. Again, nothing really too crazy just yet. There's extra Marines coming around, SCVs are building. Bring all of this up. Can I tell you who wins this game? You only want to watch if ByuN wins? Well, yeah, sure, then ByuN wins. I'm just going to tell you what you want to hear so that you stay and watch. If I was psychic, I promise you, I would probably be doing more things in the world than casting some StarCraft. I feel like there's a lot of potential there, you know? You can see the Ling still nibbling up just a little bit, so some damage being dealt. You have a little bit being done still for now. And Stim coming through, Link Speed is building, Queen and a couple of Overlords on the way. Factory is done, and the starport is on that reactor to get the first couple of medevacs going from ByuN, so we get that all coming through as well. So just bringing all of this up. Link Speed included. 11 drones continue to produce on in for the moment here, so we're bringing that about right now. Medevacs load, and off and away we go. Unload here, and an Overlord already taking some shots, so damage being done. Overlord gets picked off. Again, +1 attack starts from ByuN behind this. Nice to get an Overlord early. As our medevacs continue back down to the bottom left-hand side, a couple of these Marines already unloading from the medevacs, ready to go in towards this force. The Marines will find another Overlord. It's actually really nice. Now, Dark is not being supply blocked by this, but he has no Overlords now on the way, so he's about to hit a supply block, and obviously the loss of Overlords helped to bring that closer than it would have been otherwise. But the Link Queen is in good position, so at least it's only the Overlords that are being lost. It's only these supply blocks that are being forced. And a couple of medevacs will unload now down on this bottom right side. And again, get the Baneling nest going, the lair coming through the hatchery building. And Marine's going to get rid of a couple more creep tumors as we go stimming forwards. Queens coming across. Just going to have ourselves the medevacs and Marines loading up and backing away a little bit. Still got ourselves a +1 combat shield on the way up. Marines in the tank. Reducing on through here as ByuN, by the way, is obviously just committing through to the 2 bases. He's not playing the 3rd base. So ByuN wants to be very aggressive. He wants to absolutely send this. ByuN just trying to wrap this one up nice and swiftly, it would seem. Try and tie this series, of course. He wants to take this to 2-2. Into a game number 5. Marines step forward. Queen's going to be taking some damage, reducing a couple of tanks, getting sieged out down on the low ground. Marines will continue up as the Lingbane Queen gets pushed around once again. ByuN, well, he's about to be down on upgrades as 1-1 finishes from Dark. ByuN only has the +1 attack upgrade. The surround is ready. That also denies reinforcements from getting over here easily. Only problem is Baneling speed's a long way off. I think we are going to have to fight this without Baneling speed, most likely. Here we go, though. The Lings are going to get down. They're going to get on top of the tanks quickly. I think this is fine, then. You get rid of these tanks. That low ground position kind of broken. Now Baneling speed's getting closer and closer. These Marines target firing Banelings is actually kind of amusing. As we dropped into the main base, we denied +2 carapace, of course. That only just started, but still. An Evo chamber and then an upgrade that has to be restarted. As Dark is so close to Bane speed. That'd be such a great addition. Remember that ByuN is on 2 bases, so from Dark's point of view, he just needs to keep building units. A catch on that medevac would have been massive. Can you imagine knocking down a bunch of units like that? Just as you're, you know, playing up against a 2-base all in. Yay. That would have been huge. 10 supply knocked out the skies. I kind of like the burrow. ByuN has limited amounts of scans, but it's really hit or miss. Like, it's going to have to hit real quick, because if you don't hit soon enough, you're going to have problems, right? Marine tank continues to reposition around again. Trying to decide what to do and where is the attack comes from the left-hand side. That base there, probably one you just let go is Dark. He's going to counterattack with Lings, I guess. Also good information to see what's across the map. I think it's just a group of Marines. Yeah, there's no way you push through successfully into this, but I don't hate the idea of at least setting up on that side as these few Banes do find these Marines. The lift up is not good from ByuN, so no lift. Just trying to position over here. And looks slow the army on the upper right is going to come back down. Is that just the Banes? Yeah, looks though we figured out that this was probably not going to work. That's a drop onto this base, and that was the medevac just getting shot down. ByuN giving Dark another opportunity to play defense here. He's obviously getting better and better right now. Now we're going to catch these units reinforcing. Oh, the Banelings all rolling into a tank, though. I guess that doesn't matter too much as now this tank gets saved. That's a lot of Banes still over here, mind, and they're going to crash through this depot wall. There's actually a double wall, but we're going to go through it and go for the mineral line as Dark feels as though by shutting down these SCVs, he can shut down the momentum of his opponent. I don't think he's too wrong. 12 SCVs going down. ByuN is going to struggle to keep the pressure up from this. That was a lot of SCVs, though. You know, I think that's absolutely worth noting that was a lot of SCVs. Sorry, a lot of Banelings being utilized here, and that maybe opens the doorway one final time for ByuN. More Banes morphing, a couple of Queens going to come pulling back. Queens come through, a couple of Banes. Obviously, just going to struggle to connect. They're actually very close to +2 carapace. We already have +2 melee. Dark tries to come in from both sides, but ByuN honestly responds well. Gonna leave the Queens to go and grab one of the siege tanks already. Lings as well. And now we're gonna come in from 2 angles. The Banes are very close to these Marines. We might have to lift up. Yeah, lifting isn't great though, because it abandons the siege tanks. The Banes roll into a tank as well. Dark continuing to defend. And remember, with every single defense here, Yeah, with every single defense becomes another problem for ByuN because he's got less and less workers from that previous counter-attack. I love the burrowed Banes, by the way, in the center, so he does finally look to make use of that burrow. That's great to see. Queen's still coming about. Just got our 2-2 about to finish. Ling Bang Queen all coming through. Queen's got back down the bottom. A couple of teammates here going to get knocked away at pretty much immediately, and actually going to be able to get a dive onto this hatch as well. Ling's counterattacking. There's not much to be seen still. I mean, you don't really want to run through the natural wall off. You know that that's probably going to end badly for you, so hold it back still. Banes will force the medevacs to load up. We lose one more medevac. Hard to really find a lot of love or life for ByuN in this game. I do not really see what plays he makes. I mean, it feels like his chance was definitely earlier. I mean, to have not succeeded by now. Yeah, I mean, drops like this, I guess, work because you're forcing your opponent to reposition, and sometimes mistakes will be made and opportunities will be granted. I guess you just have to keep trying. You know, keep trying to do a bit of this, keep trying to do a bit of that. Bins roll up. The Marine's going to load back into those medevacs. Bins crash through. A couple Marines going down. Ling is going to get back onto the refineries, and I mean, realistically, we are still seeing ByuN's army supply kind of hanging on there. Dark actually has some money to spend right now. He's about to finish Adrenal Glands. If he gets Ultras out, this should always be over because there's no realistic way you can play against Ultras right now as ByuN. Like, you are on purely Marines, 2 bases, moving your main base to your 3rd. Ling's running by onto the natural at the same time. They're going to get straight in for SCVs, Siege Tank, and more. So they're going to do a bunch. I mean, this kind of feels like game, actually, because this is going to be every single SCV going down. Reinforcements are currently halted because the main base isn't mining, so you haven't had much to reinforce with, and yeah, every SCV just died. Well, it's this army or die trying. This is it. This is the only army you've got. This is all you've got. ByuN, somehow show us a miracle. Give us a game 5. I really don't see it. It's kind of been Dark's game for a little while at this stage. As Dark just pulls back. I mean, he's going to get Ultras. He's going to get Creep. He's going to have Chitinous. He's just going to have more and more to, to play with this. As we dive on forwards right now, it's a little messy because the Queens are blocking the Ultra. But we force the lift up into the medevac. We're going to see ByuN try and drop the main base instead. Just going to try and take this elsewhere. Ultra will come over with this group of Lings, and he will get a few chomps off, and he will swipe his way to victory as ByuN 30 supply. Probably kicking himself a bit for that earlier game. I see GG finally being called. That will be that. We will close this out. Dark 3, ByuN 1, victory for